for a coffee roasting company. And I got very much into that. That was actually where Hayden used to work in New Zealand before he went to Japan. So he had connections to this company, and that's why we actually moved to Australia in the first place.
Were you guys married when you moved to Australia? Or?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, I was just like, yeah, I'll go somewhere. It sounds cool, and I don't have anything else to do.
Exactly.
So
you're like, fuck it, pack up our stuff.
Yeah.
At that time, it's like you're a backpacker almost.
Oh, yeah.
'cause you're adventuring on weekends and things of that nature.
Totally. You have the travel bug, and it hits you hard.
So was this when were you guys in your 20s? Not to kind of
I
That
was.
is rude as fuck.
No, it's not.
Asking people's ages and stuff.
see, she doesn't mind. Hayden's laughing. That's awesome.
I was in my 20s. I think like 26 or something when I moved over there, and Hayden was like 30.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Older guy.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know where I was going with that.
yeah, let's take the reins off Chris here for a second. So y'all came back stateside, and
Yep.
then y'all decided. Obviously, we have the bean water, and we have Dank Foods here, and y'all decide on Denver.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy working with your husband? Is there any little bit? Do y'all ever like just drive each other crazy? Like I'm always.
Oh, hell
around
yeah.
you.
Yeah, we drive each other nuts.
Who
though.
wins?
Oh, that's not a fair question.
You win
I
every
always do. No, I don't know. That it's a little bit of both. I think it's also been a big lesson to me that like it's hard to see the relationship as a winning and losing thing because that's how you break up, you know?
I'm just using Everyone Loves Raymond, the TV show, as reference. You're talking to two single dudes, so we have zero frame of reference in regards to that. But that does make me wonder, like, who wears the chef pants in the house? Are you the chef, and he's like, he does the morning? Like,
there's
he gets up and
definitely
gets
a
the coffee
line
brewing?
between, what we do and where we run the show. I'm in the back of house, and he's in the front of house.
Okay.
And ne'er should we, ever cross each other's line because...
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds? We bring this up
No.
often with the food. And it's kind of talks about the food industry, and it's a movie from maybe the early 2000s, but it's hilarious to see like the people from the back house are like, get the fuck out of this kitchen. To like waiters and like trying to be expats, and you're like, dude, get out. And so I was wondering, I wonder if they ever just like want to strangle each other, like get away from that food. God. But I reference that movie often, sorry.
Does it make sense to have somebody out front with an accent? Somebody who can...
To legitimize this?
Yeah, or just play around, I mean, everybody loves a good accent here and there.
Yeah.
You're on this one.
Well, but you had mentioned earlier that you guys were kind of looking around to see where you might.
Yeah.
Like, so you had this idea, and then what were some of the places you thought about dropping it?
Well, we went back to Chicago, where I first came from, and it just felt established, it's a big city. There's a lot of people already there doing their thing, and they're like, this is what we're doing, and we're not really interested in anything different. And we felt also it's really fucking cold, and
God, it's so cold in the winter.
I don't think I can do that
How
again.
does he fare in the cold weather? I mean, he's a surf
my
guy.
God.
Huh? So-
We visited Chicago earlier on in our relationship, and it was the dead of winter, and not only that, but it was like the fourth coldest recorded winter in
It's one of
Chicago.
those, like bone chilling. Like you walk outside and you're like, no, dogs don't even want to go outside. This weather and go to the bathroom. Yeah, I know that.
You like ride in the car and your feet are frozen because the floor of the car is so cold. But it was, he was like, this is ridiculous, and all you can do for 6 months is hibernate and eat food, and he's a very active person, so he's like, I can't do that, that's not my lifestyle. So we went to California. We were thinking originally when we were still in Australia that San Francisco might be feasible, but that's just a laugh now. And then then we got there, we're like, this is silly, let's try Oakland, because Oakland is awesome, and that's where all the creatives are going, and we could never afford San Francisco in our lifetime, but maybe Oakland will give us a shot. So we went there, and like we stayed with a friend of ours, and kind of had the same experience there. Like it was, we were totally surprised by
They
it.
also,
So
was it already established there as well? Like I know that San Fran's not known as a foodie city like Chicago maybe, or like your LA's or New York's.
Right.
What was it that maybe deterred you from that? Was it just the price point on the
oh
square
yeah,
footage?
yeah. Like
Just
it was
that?
just one look at that, and we're like, we have no place here.
Oh, this place! I bet this place would be absolutely insane.
Oh, if it was in San Francisco,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, it'd be
you would
freaking
need
nuts.
you would need $1 million in your pocket, and then like a
$20
few more in
avocado
the
toast.
bank account. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
for sure.
I mean,
Totally.
So let's talk about how. I mean, so we said screw California. That's a big part of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Screw California. And then we said screw Chicago. So, I've met, I guess, referenced before that Colorado is like New Zealand of the states because you can go from skiing one part of the day, and if you drive quick enough, you can get down here and play a round of golf. Because the weather's changed and things of that nature.
Yeah.
My little brother did some SOM work over on I guess you'll call it the Northern Island, or I don't know what.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So he's a big fan of that, but he loved Vail as well. So
Yeah.
he went from Vail to New Zealand.
Yep.
Was that a smooth transition?
Oh,
for
totally.
y'all? I mean,
Yeah.
y'all get to enjoy the play and the work at the same time?
To an extent. I mean, as much as a business owner can, but we weren't really coming here to look to set up. We were actually visiting my brother, who lives here. He's been here for like 10 years now with his family, and we just fell in love with it. And we're like, this place is rad.
I know.
Like, and not only like the mountains are so close, like you could just head out there in 30 minutes and escape the city. But it's just there was a momentum in the air, there was a vibrancy where things were getting exciting and people were bringing stuff here, and like people from here were doing exciting stuff. So we're like, we want a part of this, and it seems like a great place to start.
When was this? Like, what year were you talking about when you guys kind of
14-ish? 13?
Yeah, I think it was 14.
Okay.
Y'all opened, and that's one. I'll use that as a smooth segue to. We're sitting here in Stowaway Kitchen.
Yeah.
Y'all opened in 2015 over here, correct?
Yeah, the end of the year. Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know if I've eaten here. I've come for some bean water and process because I work just down the street. So I want to kind of pick your brain about this as well as let our listeners know kind of, all the hype. Obviously, y'all do very well in the breakfast scene, so y'all decide to start looking outward. And by outward, I mean to another time scale. So y'all are looking into the Denver club, or excuse me, the supper club. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of want to, kind of pick your brain about everything. Like, how did you create your breakfast menu? Where did your inspiration come from?
Right.
Where do we get our beans for our bean water? Let's just start at the beginning. Where do you get your inspiration for your menu?
Well, I think a lot of it is from the places that we've traveled to. You'll see a lot of influence from just different cultures. Japanese is always going to be on there. Something Middle Eastern is always going to be on there. That was huge in Australia. A lot of Turkish people, a lot of Greek people. You go to different neighborhoods, you can get things that you've never even heard of before.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it was awesome. It was so good.
Eating with your hands and not knowing exactly what you put in. They're like, oh, by the way, that was goat testicle. Be like, that goat testicle is delicious.
Bring it on, yeah. But I think that's why I got so excited about food in Australia too, is because like every country is going to have their own satellite countries that come there and contribute their own culinary pieces to it. So we got a lot of like people. There were a lot of people from Sudan, Micronesia, and just like flavors that I hadn't tasted or seen or heard about before. So that was just really exciting, and a lot of the flavors I'd say would come from those things that we tasted for the first time, and we're like, holy shit, this is so good. I've never tried a falafel that's green inside. What is this? It's Egyptian falafel. And the dude, told us about it, and he was happy to, and we tried making it, and that was it.
Please elaborate on what an Egyptian falafel is for the listeners, as well as will you make me one after we do this? That sounds fantastic.
You might be able to get one from a supper club, actually.
It's
probably on the menu, yeah.
I like that plug you did right there. That's well done.
Thank you.
In the podcast game.
So Egyptian falafels, we found out, is made with fava beans as well as chickpeas or garbanzos, and a lot of herbs that are diced up and thrown up in the mix.
Gives it that green color.
Mm-hmm.
When someone says fava beans, do y'all think of Silence of the Lambs or the guy?
Totally. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber or something like that.
I think I muted that out, but now it's back, so thanks.
I think that's the cool thing. So kind of you guys almost show different cultures through the food here, because I notice, like, I lived over in London for grad school for a little bit.
Awesome.
And that's when I fell in love with Indian food, because it is incredible. And the amount of diversity with the people in London and everything like that, we kind of experienced all that. So I kind of feel that's what you all are going for with, like, the lamb. I think you guys have shashuka on the...
We used to. That was one of the opening menu items, and people ask about it, but...
Yeah, because that's delicious.
It's so delicious, but we want to move forward too, you know. Like,
so so moving forward though, what are your personal favorites on your menu? If Kip's coming,
and eating, like,
yes,
let's say someone that has an empty belly, a little bit of red hue to their eyes, and have never been here before. What would you recommend for a first timer?
Okay,
and then maybe what's the fan favorite? You know, that's bringing people back for more.
For sure. Well, I love fish. That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite protein. So I would recommend one of our dishes called smoked trout and dukkha, which is a tartine, which is like an open-faced sandwich, essentially. It's got your sourdough Pullman bread from Babette's, which is, in my opinion, the best bread in Denver. And I know I'm throwing things out there.
No, you're more than welcome to. Because we like to ask that. We were going to get into that segment too, like your favorite, like, you know, places to grab things and things of that nature. Yeah. So don't feel free to plug anybody.
Okay.
Most likely we'll end up there later. So please continue. That sounds delicious. I'm so hungry.
Go with it.
So that's gonna get some tzatziki on top, which is a cucumber-based sauce that has some cucumbers and mint and lemon juice, garlic, all that stuff. And then we've got smoked trout, which we do in-house, and a couple of poached eggs and some sautéed spinach on there. So it's got a lot of different flavors all over the board that sort of pull together and meet in the middle, but it's got your bright acidity from the sautéed spinach with some lemon juice in there, and the tzatziki as well. And then the trout's going to round it out. It's like the bacon of the sea.
Did you hear that? The bacon of the sea. We haven't referred to it as that on the podcast, but
smoked trout is
by God,
delicious.
that's about to become a regular household topic.
Well, yeah, because they call it tuna's the chicken of the sea.
It is.
So I like that. Trout is the bacon of the sea. That's
when
awesome.
When it's smoked. Right.
True. That's awesome. Somebody's going to steal that tagline.
There you go.
Okay, back though, really quick. I want to stop you right there because you call it tartine, and I know tartine is a word for open-faced sandwich.
Yeah.
Why not just say open-faced sandwich?
Because it's more words.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Because also it's not really I don't want to think of it as a sandwich. I think of
it's like a torta. Is that right? Is that another thing that's also like an open-faced meal?
Well, tortas are...
Or not tortas, excuse me, tostadas.
Right. Yeah, kind of. I guess so.
An open-faced taco.
That is true.
Right, yeah. But it's just a totally different platform.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean torta. Torta is totally a sandwich.
That's a full-on sandwich.
Stop drinking so much, Kip. All right. I'll get behind that tartan. So, is that a breakfast, or is that something you can get here through the breakfast lunch menu?
Yeah, all day.
Part of the supper club.
No. So these are two different menus.
Okay, fantastic.
So our breakfast and lunch menu is pretty much available every day, all day until 3:00, except for Tuesdays when we're closed. And we do sandwiches on the weekdays and not on the weekends, but that's the only thing that really changes. There's a few specials scattered throughout. And then for supper club, we have a totally different menu that's put on by another chef, Chef Johnny Naffa. And he has a Middle Eastern menu. So we've always had some Middle Eastern flair on the daytime menu, but he's worked with us from the beginning, and he's always been really into that. His father's part Lebanese, and so he's grown up eating that kind of food, and we are huge fans of it. So we were totally excited about him coming out with his own thing, and about giving him the opportunity to do that. So that's what Supper Club's about.
So Supper Club always has this Middle Eastern vibe?
Yep.
So Supper Club's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night?
Yes.
Is it reservations or
No reservations.
you just come in?
You just come in.
If you can get a seat, because I mean it's a poppin' scene over here. You know, not only in the Rhino area but also at this location. I mean, you start talking about all these meals. It's gonna be very difficult to